pressure bust pipes. All creates VVS cut ice. Up nice, we puff pipes to relieve the stress. Fuck life. We went from thug life to screaming we the best. Before calling every girl a bitch. The pearls were pitch. Jews with course left the world a dish. Food for thought, leave a tip for the leadership. Avoid the GMO. Eat what you grow, reap what you sow. Reap the rest Rapunzel. Thread a needle, golden yarn. Holding arms as long as Matumbo. Longer stretch than runs of Colombo. Older uncles in the golden dawn. Nephews in them vestibules. Holding arms, still arms at the head of fiends. Role model Papa in the letter ye. The people that you let deceive you is the closest ones. Nephews, the uncles, they the first ones to rush and run through. Whose house the tools out? Forcing you to crack the safe and take them jewels out. Crack the fridge and take some food out. Family sits at and then the table. Shit, the same family kills. The king that able, more horrors than Amityville. The haters in the game can turn fatal. Change your name, but never change your label. Once you've been labeled as able to carry out your hateful spew, then I fail to bring it straight to you. Jokes on me, April Fools. You can take the tool to fake my cool shit. Who wanna lay in fools? That's why I keep the heater on me. All your social traits show you sweet and corny. Succotash, cut the grass, don't go that way. It's where them cobras lay. Their coldest stain was overlaid by a poker face. I got my joker on. Jared Leto, open case, fed placebos, hold a race. Golden off to close the case. Light is touching, light discussions over nice production. Pipes be buzzing, desert eagles in these golden homes. VVS, I'm just an angel of light, you know, an angle of light. A stranger in the night, entangling the fight, the strangling the life, the changing of the guards, the rearranging of the cards. Dr. Strange in them foreign cars. We was icons before they started shooting them Nikons. We had the cannon and the marker cannon. 3 fives in the 70s, knee high in the 70s. Now it's Ebony's in every prison. Daily missions like Debbie Fisher. Heavy scripture, heavy mixture, cherry elixir, and every bar mitzvah. Moving hand, niggas use the gram just for moving grams. They ain't losing hands, niggas losing band. We in a music band, and they wanna stroke my ego, invoke my evils. Man, I spoke to people with that coke with ego. Yeah, the dope is legal. My commentary is like commissary for these broken people. Food for thought, I'm on my shmoney grind. Bentley truck, same color as the honey wine. The organ rising, the price of your organs rising. If niggas ain't talking about organizing, it's no communication or rising.
Alright, there you have it, y'all. VVS off of the Twin album featuring Red Pill and Blue Pill. Go and check out twinthealbum.com, or you could go to your streaming services and just put Twin the Album. Not the. We ain't speaking ebonics. THE, my niggas. The real spelling. Twin the Album.com. Yeah, there you go. Salute to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Monday. You already know you are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. Let me do this roll call. All right, we already got Richmond, Virginia in the building, first and foremost. Colorado in the building. We got Empress B44 in the building. All right, Inglewood is in the building. You dig? Washington by way of New York. All right, in the building. Louisville in the building. Shout out to Louisville. I was just looking at some old footage that we did like 2 years out there. 2 years we did a video out there, a lecture. Houston, Texas in the building. H-Town in the building. Las Vegas is in the building. UK, Birmingham, across the pond. Wagwan, shout out. UK is locked in. Look out for us in October, UK. Louisiana's in the building. Newport News is in the building. North Charleston is in the building. All right? Salute to the fam, to the familam. Montgomery, Alabama. Charlotte is in the building. Georgia, 229 is in the building. You already. North Click is in the building. H-Town, 302, what it do? ATL, KTL in the ATL. Shout out to Blue Pill in the ATL. NC is in the building. North Kakalaka, talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? Chicago, Chirac, in the building. Y'all had a lot of shooting in Chirac this weekend. Y'all was trying to keep up with El Paso or something. 717 in the building. Alright. West Phoenix. Peace to West Phoenix in the building. Salute to the Phoenix family. Okay. So yeah. Let's get this episode started. As you can see, we're not midnight. Watts is in the building. Shout out to Watts. 504 is in the building. Detroit is in the building. Shout out to the D. What up, though? Somebody said today El Paso twice a month. Is that Chicago talking? Verbal Underground? You in Chirac? 727 Compton is in the building. 727 Largo, Florida is in the building. East St. Louis is in the building. Salute to East St. Louis. You dig? Somebody said the Third Eye Thursday video got shut down. No, we did a whole nother one. We did a 3-hour one right after that. Don't worry. If there's ever a situation where YouTube shuts down one of these lives, go to my page right after that, because if they shut off one live, I'm starting up another one. You know what I'm talking about? I got like a 5-episode limit. They'll have to shut. If they shut 5 down back to back, nigga, I'm going to sleep. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna call it the night. But if it freezes and I shut it down, or it just stops working, just go to my page. Like, we don't play those games with YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna ruin my night. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we don't allow the little people at YouTube to ruin our night. You can't fuck with the wave. Like, you're not gonna ruin my wave. I will get on Instagram live and finish up my work, nigga. I'll get on Facebook Live. I'll go to Jurassic Park where all of the old dinosaurs is on Facebook. I'll finish it on Facebook. Or if worst come to worst case scenario, right? Look at me talking shit, and this shit just kind of semi-froze up. Let me be easy, because Liar Cohen and them, they can't wait to shut the guard down. But worst case scenario, I do a nigga said blog talk. Worst case scenario, I'll do a Zoom, a private Zoom, and I'll record it, and then I'll upload it. So we could get past all of the conspiracy theory. Hyattsville, Maryland in the building. We're not gonna allow, like, that's what tonight's episode is gonna focus on, amongst other things. Like, we're not gonna allow the myth of somebody being superior over us to hinder us. Because right now, black people in particular, not really white people, because white people don't really care about the shootings. They don't feel unsafe. It's Negroes and Hispanics. They the ones that are getting put under fear right now. They the ones that are getting put back under fearful conditions when you niggas was just getting up out of it. You know what I'm talking about? You was going ready to go see Hidden Colors 5. Niggas was feeling real fucking, militant. And then what did they do? Smack you niggas. Sit your ass down. Go sit in that fucking corner somewhere. Go sit in the corner. Go sit in the cage or something. We finna go shoot up the goddamn Walmart. Put you niggas back in the fear box. We're gonna trend white supremacy on Twitter all day. We're gonna trend Donald Trump, racist president, or white supremacist president, all day on Twitter. We're gonna give this shit all of the energy. At the end of the day, we've been here before. One, right? Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to come out of that. 2. 3. They're going to spin the fuck out of the story. They're going to, I mean, when I say spin, it's called Hegelian dialect. It's an art of war. And 90% of war is propaganda. Translation, 90% of war is lying to the fucking unsuspecting public, right? Not you guys. I don't suspect that any of you on this line tonight are sheep. But we got family members, we got co-workers, we got loved ones. You know what I'm talking about? We got people all around us that buy into whatever these people sell them. Like it's a Walmart clearance sale. They buy anything that's being sold to them. They talk greasy to you when you try to bring the truth to them. They talk all fucking arrogant, like they know it all, like they got this shit covered, and they don't know half of what the fuck is going on underneath, under their watch, right? They have no idea about the complexities. All they want to say is white supremacy, thus putting Europeans, white inferiority complex sufferers, putting them once again in a higher position over them. Niggas is now niggas is under white men gun. Now black people are cowering under the barrel of a fucking AK-47 and an SK. And these supposed to be black people, the toughest, roughest niggas on the planet, right? Right? The goons and shit. These are savages. These are hot boys and hot girls having a hot ass summer. But it's a dog day summer. Nigga, have a fucking seat. All of you cucumber, suckers. All of you cucumber swallowers. Go make some fucking salad somewhere. Sit your bird ass down because it's a hot boy. It's not a hot boy summer. It's a dog day of summer, right? It's the dog days of summer. So sit that old nigga shit down because we out here murking niggas. We out here with an agenda where we're feeding the Roman gods during the Jason months. What are the Jason months? These niggas try to, I put this shit up on Instagram like 2 months ago just to show you how, and I'm not taking shots at the community, but niggas is elementary. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of, in the past 8-9 years, motherfuckers have been in elementary school nonstop. The information has not elevated past a 4th grade level. So nobody knows what Jason is anymore. Niggas thought I was talking about Jason Delarue or something, or niggas thought I was talking about Jason Voorhees. These, like, nigga, you don't listen to Bobby Hemmett? You niggas didn't go to fucking school? Like, you didn't get orientation? Like, it's like, really, the only thing our people are coming from these days is a black history, black victimhood point of view. They don't even know what the fuck Jason is. It's not the Jason Society. It's the Jason months. It's July, August, September, October, November. It is a ritualistic, blood fucking letting, blood ritual month. It's a window that these crackers and these fucking Satanists sacrifice and do mass shootings, and they send and it's the birthday of the sun in the sign of Leo, right? This is a ritualistic time where blood is shed by these Europeans, and we should know this at this point. It's 2019 and niggas don't even know this, bro. They don't even know this. So how can I help you? You don't even know what the fuck Jason is. What can Red Pill do for you? What can he do? You niggas need Charlemagne as your teacher or something. I'm a little too advanced. What can I do? Niggas don't even know what the Jason months is. So when they start doing their rituals, nobody on Twitter is, I'm reading all of the hashtags. I'm trying to see if niggas is on one. Nobody's catching on to anything. They don't even know what's going on. They're just reactionaries. They're just listening to what the media is telling them. They're just hashtag fucking crazy. If a nigga get bodied, it turns into a hashtag. They have fun on Twitter for a few hours, and then it's on to the next tragedy. That's kind of that's parasitical, if you ask me. That's parasitical. Somebody said a lot of my fellow young niggas didn't get that Bobby Hemmett download. Well, tell them niggas to get off of the bullshit and go get the download, because there's but so much we could do for you. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't get the Phil Valentine. You didn't get the Delbert Blair. You didn't get the Bobby Hemmett. You didn't even get, you niggas is just getting Dr. Sabi downloads in 2019. What can we do for you? You know what I'm talking about? What can we do? Something has to change, bro. Somebody got to level this shit up, because all of the platforms are responsible for leveling up the fucking frequency of their students. And if they keeping them on this victimhood, mundane, bullshit ass, is God a woman or man, is water wet type of stupid shit, then we're going to suffer, bro. We're going to suffer. You don't know, the people perish for a lack of knowledge, right? Niggas don't realize, people don't realize, our people do not realize how important and how life-changing higher fucking education is. And I'm not talking about the shit that you got, that you in debt from DeVry Institute. I ain't talking about your college bills. I'm talking about the real higher education for master teachers. For master teachers. Knowing that you niggas is from Egypt is not going to help you inside of America, where there's a fucking war taking place right now and the sleeper cells are wide awake, clapping you niggas and scoring points on 8chan in the deep web. Nigga, you're just, come on. This shit is like Space Jam with the fucking monsters and whatnot. They just catching all kind of points on niggas. And we just sitting here tweeting about it, being reactionary. Oh my goodness. We need to take their guns away. Nigga, guns don't kill people. People kill people. What are you talking about? It's a whole lot of guns out here. A whole lot. It's a lot of guns. Oh, if there wasn't that many guns, people would, I agree. If these little fucking teenagers in Chicago didn't have military assault rifles, yes, it would help slow down the shootings. But if you want to address the issue that America has with its gun violence or its overall violence, you cannot blame it on a motherfucking AK-47 or an AR-15. That shit goes back. That shit goes back into what America was built off of. That goes back to Manifest Destiny. That goes back to Doctrine of Discovery. That goes back to the motherfucking Roman Catholic Church, nigga. That goes back to the fabric of Western American society, that this goddamn country, this corporate structure was founded on genocide and Holocaust. And I ain't talking about Harvey Weinstein, and I ain't talking about the Jews. You feel me? I'm talking about, goddamn it, John Wayne and these crackers on these Old Town Road ass, what's Miley's pop's name? Billy Ray Cyrus and these niggas, these country ass crackers, nigga, they the ones. And the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants who killed, who murdered and maimed and pillaged in order to get into power. Their DNA is inside of the bodies of these fucking lepers that are running around in their fucking white fragility phases, reading books like Might is Right. This is all Might is Right, nigga. Reading, they're on 4chan, they're on 8chan, they're on all of these forums getting radicalized. Bird-ass, Poindexter-ass, little dick energy white boys. You know what I'm talking about? Softy niggas, like bird chest ass white boys. Homoerotic ass white boys who obsess over male black men phallus and black melanin, and fetish over their jungle bunny black women who like to twerk. That's what they say. You know what I'm talking about? But they're not man enough. They don't have the virility to be in a room with you and not get nervous. They don't have the manpower. They're not man enough to stand in the elevator with you and look you eye to eye and just be a fucking man. You know what I'm talking about? These Zetas. These Zeta males. You know? These Zeta males. There can never be peace. There can never be peace. And I'm not advocating no kind of smoke whatsoever to the other side because we too big for that. There's nothing that you got to do but be you. First and foremost, if you're not being you, you're an op. First and foremost, if you cosplaying, trying to be fucking, you know, like, you're trying to be like, you're trying to be other than, you don't want to be yourself. You don't want to be who the fuck you were born to be. You're not accepting a role. You're not accepting the pants that God put on your ass. Well, then that's a whole nother conversation. We're not talking to you. We're not talking to you. We're talking to regular melanated people who are wired correctly, right? They came here wired correctly. They don't have their fucking wires crossed, right? They're wired correctly. They know who the fuck they are. They're comfortable in their skin, right? They're embracing their greatness because the sun is talking to them. You know what I'm saying? They're getting all kind of downloads. You know, their antennas are growing out. They done did the big chop. So they're picking up all kind of signals that are being sent from the Sirius star system, right? So they're like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and all kind of positive shit is coming to them. Nigga, we the best. You the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Life is great. You know, that you might even meditate and then peek into the future where we're winning on some Wakanda shit. You know what I'm talking about? We're just minding our black business. So you don't have to do anything but continue to be great. Aspire to be great. Focus on greatness, not only in you, but your fucking seeds as well. You know what I'm talking about? Focus on the greatness in your seeds and you cultivate your seeds' greatness. Focus on the greatness in your loved ones or your mate. Focus on the greatness in your parents. You know what I'm talking about? Even if there's some fucking neck bone chewing, double elbow Christians and whatnot. Who cares? Focus on their greatness. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe they was, you know, there's something about them that's great. Maybe their macaroni and whatnot is great. Focus on that. We don't need to give any kind of brain energy, mind energy, or heart energy to these Euro. I do that shit. Let me take that up. You know what I'm saying? I'll fucking carry that weight. You don't need to worry about these cocksuckers because you worrying about them ain't gonna do nothing. You're not gonna stop them. You're not gonna convince them. You're not gonna change them. Okay? You niggas are not caseworkers. You're not social fucking, you know what I mean? You're not social workers. You don't have degrees in that, so cut it out. Don't come with this kumbaya. You came from the constellation of Uranus, and you're just here to fucking heal people, and you was... No, nigga, you're not a yogi. Sit down. You know what I'm saying? Fix your fucking people. See, we always want to be these globalized, worldly... No, nigga, you lost that title. You know what I'm talking about? You lost that title for a moment. You know, it's like WWF. You're not the Intercontinental Champion right now. Focus on being the heavyweight champion of your division. Niggas want to be Intercontinental. You lost that title. You're not. You don't wear that belt right now. You don't have that belt. You can't go around the world as a goodwill ambassador, little nigga. Talk to ASAP. He was in Sweden trying to get it in. It's not working. You have work to do at home before you get on any Delta Airlines or Spirit or whatever the fuck Virgin Airlines and go around the world as if you niggas is you know, King Jaffe. It's not working. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. We gotta fix home first. ADOS. We gotta fix home. It's some shit that we gotta fix here. We gotta get this shit settled up. And then we could go back to doing what we was doing when we were, you know, when we were in our proper persona. We're not there right now. We're not there right now. So if we were to focus on our culture, we have a very wealthy culture. The shit is clocking in billions of dollars, right? Hip hop, okay? And I'm not talking about mumble rap. I'm talking about break dancing or with the shoot dance, whatever you niggas is doing, the fucking Millie Rock, whatever dance you come up with, Alvin Ailey, whatever you come up with, y'all niggas want to do the Vogue and whatever you come up with, strike a pose, nigga, whatever that is. But we got dance, we got art, graffiti, painting. You know what I mean? You could be the Black Picasso. We have film to make. We got sitcoms to make. We got web series to make. We got cartoons. We got animation to make. We got some epic stories to make. You understand? Then we have master of ceremony. We have some poetry that we need to be writing. We need some positive rap. We need, shout out to Cambada and Black Magic putting out the album of the fucking year. All right, Holy Ghost Part 2. Okay. With a cameo by yours truly. Of course, I have to put that in there. Yeah, we got apps to make. We got websites to build. We don't got no time to be worrying about what the fuck they doing in Walmart. We don't have time to worry. We know what it is. I spent, not only me, Tariq Nasheed, the Black Authority. Who else? Who else? It's a few people out there that are standing on a narrative. What is a narrative? A narrative is the shit that you said last year, you're saying it this year. The shit that you said 5 years ago, you're still on that. You're not flim-flammy and flip-floppy and whatnot. You didn't start off saying that these people are devils, and then 5 years later, nigga, you in pictures underneath their deodorant, looking like suns and whatnot. No, we're talking about staying on course, staying on code. These people seem to have manifestos. I remember when I used to be into G.I. Joe, Destro used to write manifestos. And I used to read them shits. And it used to just, Cobra Commander used to write manifestos too. And I used to be down with that shit because when I was young, I had Pinky aspirations to take over the world. Pinky in the brain. So one thing about these Europeans or these sleeper cells or these shooters, right? Because they're having a real hot boy summer on their side, is that they're following a manifesto. Like, them niggas is writing out their plans. They're following, there's a throughway in their whole movement that Dylan Roof, the Waffle House shooter, the Walmart shooter, you name it, the movie theater shooter, it's all kind of shooters, nigga. It's all kind of shooters. Somebody said hip-hop is trash. Nigga, you're trash. Fuck is you talking about? Hip-hop is not trash. It's the fact that you don't eat from hip-hop and you have not commanded hip-hop that you're trash. Because, like I said, it's 5 pillars to hip-hop. What are you, a Poindexter? If you say, and somebody be like, oh, you're not right, Red Pill, by saying that you're trash. Nigga, unless that man is 70 years old, he is hip-hop. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Don't be ungrateful. Don't be ungrateful. Nigga, you breathe the culture. Like I said, it's not rap. It's dance. It's graffiti. It's talking, microphone controller. It's the knowledge, because that's the 5th pillar, the knowledge. It's how you dress. It's how you walk. It's how you talk. I'm hip-hop. I was born into this shit. That's my culture. Nigga, I'm not African culture, all right? Let's be clear. I'm not African culture. I'm African culture vicariously through hip-hop. It's not just rap. So here it goes with these fucking victims with the victim mentality. Oh, hip-hop. Oh, it doesn't do anything for our people. Nigga, what would you be? What would we be without it? Because in the 70s, even though people were, not as wicked as they are right now, a lot of niggas was broke. I'm talking about big broke. Big time, big broke. Where would we be? What would we be into? Niggas was listening to Billy Idol, bro. Do you understand that hip hop saved us? Niggas was listening to Wham and George Michael. They was slowly turning us into some moist ass niggas. We was listening to Culture Club. We was listening to Madonna. We was listening to Freddie Jackson sing the niggas thinking that he was singing to women. We was listening to Luther. Fuck is you saying? Niggas was emulating Prince in the 80s. Hip hop, with all of this hyper masculinity, with all of the gun talk, it gave us some motherfucking balance. I don't think you understand what was going on. You know what I mean? Yeah, niggas was reciting Boy George. Like, your first 7 years are your formative years. They was feeding niggas Boy George, the Culture Club, Luther. You know what I'm saying? Moist Mike. Like, what are you talking about? That wasn't positive. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't, no, nigga. That wasn't, no, hell no. Nah. Like, no. We needed hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We needed hip hop. We needed a masculine expression of what black culture supposed to have looked like. For real. To reflect the neighborhoods that we lived in. Because nobody in my hood was looking like Prince, my nigga. Niggas wasn't wearing stilettos and red bottoms in my hood with nut huggers. And nobody was dressing like that. You know what I'm saying? The white people, they wasn't nice like they was on VH1 in real life. They wasn't talking to us. So, no. I'm not one of those dudes that sit back and blame hip hop for all of the ills in the world. Like niggas are not responsible for their deterioration and their downfall. Niggas were devolving before hip hop popped off. Let me just clear that up for you. For anybody that's out there who was in your father's nutsacks, or you was in the crib and you don't understand what happened in 89, 90, and 91. The New York was the murder capital in 1990. And it wasn't no fucking gangster rap out back then. Okay? New York was the murder capital in 1990 under David Dinkins, and it wasn't a lot of mixtapes out, so you could blame it on hip hop. It was crack, Uzis, the Shower Posse, and a bunch of dance hall reggae where niggas was talking Gundalero talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what was going down. And this was before Snoop Dogg and all of them niggas in the West Coast decided they want to start banging and whatnot. So don't blame it on hip hop. Niggas was dying wholesale in 1990, smoking crack in 88, and it wasn't no gangster rap out. So what happened then? What the fuck? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? So I am not comfortable always pointing fingers, telling about, oh, this. No, the liar Cohens of the world, they capitalized off of the dysfunction that was very fucking evident and very clear in black society during those days, during that time. The dysfunction that Oliver North, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, and the rest of them helped to facilitate with flooding our neighborhoods, our ghettos, our hoods with crack cocaine, right? And high-powered weaponry. That was all governmental. That was a result of the offshoot of the bastards of the party. That was an offshoot of COINTELPRO. Because the government knew if these niggas in the 70s is some kick-ass motherfuckers, imagine the children that are growing out of their loins. They knew that these fucking dope fiends coming back from Vietnam that was killing off villages of fucking gooks was going to give birth to some crazy motherfuckers. And that's exactly what they did. They gave birth to socio-psychopaths. That's who I grew up around. I grew up around sociopaths. Okay? That's who the fuck we grew up around. Psychopaths. Killers. Real killers. Okay? Real fucking killers who had a few screws loose. And we give them colorful names. They got dressed up in their Dapper Dan. They had the, you know what I mean? They had their gold chains. They look real fly when you're little looking up at somebody. But to be honest with you, in hindsight, these were some fucking psychopaths. You understand? These niggas was some cold-blooded, fucking psychopathic, sociopathic killers. And the people coming from the war, Vietnam, and people coming out of the movement, and people coming off the heroin, and people coming off of that crack, that coke wave, and people coming off of a lot of, they gave birth to my generation. I was born in 1975. They gave birth. Niggas born in 68, you would need to watch out for them. The 60, they need to be checked out every 2 years. 68 babies, 69 babies, 70 babies, and whatnot. They know what I'm talking about. That was a very, that whole batch right there, that whole fucking batch was born under some supreme circumstances. And it shows in the wash, because if somebody were to do a real study, if somebody were to really get in there and go and do a real study about the majority of the killers that are in jail right now, or the majority of the killers who passed through the penal system throughout the 80s up until now, you will see what I'm talking about. It's them niggas born from 67 all the way to like 77. Off the fucking chain. Off the chain. You think you young niggas is crazy? You think y'all crazy, huh? Yeah, all right. Okay. You crazy by default. You little niggas is crazy by default. You're in public service announcement. I don't mean to ruin your fucking hot boy summers, but you niggas are nowhere as crazy as the 90s. This is, I don't live in Chicago. I'm not living in the killing fields of Chirac. You know what I mean? And we're not gonna try to compare who's more killers or whatnot. But nigga, this is not the 90s. Let's be clear. This is not the 90s. The 90s, nothing could compare to that. In the late 80s, you no, nigga, your terror, what you think is terror, or the Terror Dome, or what? No, you cannot compare. It was just a whole nother energy, bro. It was a whole nother energy. And I hate speaking about it in a way where I'm trying to glorify it and whatnot, because it's not to be glorified. It's not to be glorified. It is not to, I look back on it in hindsight, and I realize it is not to be glorified, because too much glorification will bring those days back. And I don't want those days back. Somebody said the 90s had no cameras. Nigga, if they had Instagram in the 90s, do you know what the fuck will be, you know what kind of content you niggas would be downloading? It was still home sweet home. I mean, we were inside of an insane asylum, and we were comfortable with it. So what does that say about us? We were living inside of an asylum. Especially, I'm talking for New York. I went down south in the 90s. I went to Atlanta in 97. Atlanta in 97 was nowhere near where it's at right now. Atlanta in 97, they wasn't even kicking in doors. Like, Atlanta in 97, niggas was just trying to get some box. They were just running behind with that freaknik energy. It wasn't an open air narco state the way it is. It wasn't a fucking prostitution cucumber party the way that it is right now. It wasn't an open air prostitution state. That Atlanta wasn't as messed up as it is right now when I got there in 97. Look, they were playing Goody Mob and Outkast on the radio just to show you how, balanced it was. So I don't even know about other places. I know that New York in 1990, 91, 89, and 88, that shit wasn't nowhere to be, it wasn't nothing to be playing with. Yeah, DC was crazy too. They was connected. That's that whole Alpo, New York, that Wayne Perry connection. You know what I'm saying? They was out there laying niggas the fuck down. I mean, wholesale. It wasn't no games being played, bruh. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. This shit right now, They trying to catch up, but it's nowhere near where it was. You got cameras, police. Look, and that social media, it wasn't like that back then. Yes, Atlanta was a black college festival town in the 90s. From what I remember. From what I remember. Yes, and we kept all of the white people in check. Let me be clear about that. Along with all of that other shit. Don't believe the Bernard Getz story like he had niggas on the run. No, he didn't. Our European company, the white people, we kept them in check. Understand that. Kept them in check. They was not talking greasy. They was not looking at us like they wanted to, like something was wrong with them. None of that. None of that. There was a pedigree and a stock of black man. There was a pedigree, right? There was a pedigree and a stock. And that pedigree and that stock is no longer with us anymore, unfortunately. Right? It's the same. I use that comparison when we talk about thoroughbreds and horses. You got remember Black Stallion? Remember the movie Black Stallion? It used to come on HBO when you was a kid, right? They had pedigree. They got pedigrees of horses, right? So the pedigree of from what I remember, the pedigree of Roughneck, the pedigree of Goon and Goblin, the pedigree of Thug is just it seemed the further back you went, because black men in the 70s were harder than black men in the 80s, but black men in the 60s were a little bit tougher than black men in the 70s, but black men in the 30s were a little more gangster than black men in the 60s, but niggas in the 1800s was way realer than niggas in the 1900s. Remember, they were fighting 100 rounds, fists. They didn't even have no gloves on. Remember the old boxers? 100 rounds. Did you see it? Before Jack Johnson. 100. Bare knuckles. You read stories about Alexander Dumas and them niggas in the 1800s. You read stories about the niggas who beat Napoleon. You read stories about black men in the South. They were lawyers, but they also built railroads. They also was building their own house with their hands. Then they was preachers on Sunday. Then they was like pediatricians on Wednesdays and Fridays making house calls. These niggas did a lot of shit, right? And they was tougher. So as the years go by, as we peel back and go backwards in time, there's been our pedigree, the pedigree of our people has become more purer. And when you become more purer, you know what I'm saying? You become a little more in your proper persona. So to try to compare the Negro of 2019 with the Negro from 1819 it pales in comparison, because those are not the same pedigree and those are not the same stock of human being. The DNA was firing off differently. The food was different. The water was different. The air was different. The food was not covered with all of those pesticides and that fucking poison and whatnot. The food was not GMO. We did not have Hollywood to distract us. You did not have TV to distract you. We didn't have radio to distract us. We were just focusing on getting our hands in the dirt, tilling the soil, building shit, breaking shit down, carrying shit on our shoulders, whatever the fuck we was doing back then. It helped with development and growth of our pedigree and our stock. Our pedigree and our stock is now manipulated and is being somewhat compromised because of what you know, GMO, the mental mind fuck of the military arm called Hollywood, because that is part of the military industrial complex, right? Hollywood, it is a weapon, okay? The radio, programming, the TV, programming, the shit that they teaching us in school, the public education system, programming, the chemtrails, the water, the fluoride in the water, the GMO food, programming. So the dairy, programming, people, we not raising our own animals anymore. They're feeding it to us. The animals are lower pedigree, lower stock. They're not even real meat sometimes. So, we just different. And then you got niggas complaining about their children. Oh, these little niggas is soft. Oh, these little niggas is moist. So it seems that as we go down the line, the pedigree and the stock is still being compromised. Because to this day, babies are being born with less of the qualities and less of the traits that their parents had. And I'm not shooting at young Heru and young Setmet and all of them. Salute to all of them. Because the truth be told, they are wired, and I got 2 children, so I'm not shooting at my babies, but they are wired differently. Okay? They're more digital. They got some shit that they have to take care of in 20 years from now. So they're coming wired to deal with AI, or they're coming digitally wired to deal with the quote-unquote internet of all things, where human beings are going to be plugged into a mainframe or a main computer, and they're going to be on some the whole body going to be on some internet shit. 5G. Niggas going to be on 9G at that point. So I'm not necessarily going to judge the new ones, right? Because we can't continue to do the same damn thing that we was doing 100 years ago. But I know that they're going to be, I know that they have come here to be impactful. I know that they're going to disrupt some shit because these children are special. The indigos, that is. The star seeds. I don't know about I'm not saying all of the children. You know what I mean? And that's no shots at all of the children. But everybody ain't the fucking same. You know what I mean? It's not, one of the illest things that the quote-unquote white man has fooled foolish people into believing is this lie about equality, or this lie about us being the same. And that could be the furthest from the truth. That could be the furthest from the truth. We are not the same. We are not the same. Okay? Genetically, we are not the same. You know what I mean? Just genetic wise, you don't have the same strands of DNA that I got. Okay? Mr. Neanderthal. You don't got melanin. You don't got rhythm. Where's your vibration? You don't got vibranium. You understand? There's certain things that rhythm, right? Because this earth is spinning on an axis, and the toroidal energy, the spiral energy, all energy is spiral. The fact that we move in conjunction with the planet, with nature itself, we're not the same. Genetically, if you put me in a room with 100 white women, and I'm not saying me per se, because, I probably couldn't even get it up around them. But if you put me in a room, if you put a black man in a room with 100 white women, right, and left them for 1 month, you know what I'm talking about? There'd be no more white women after, you know what I'm saying, after that month. I'm just saying that if you were to get all 100 of them pregnant, there goes the white race. It's over with. You know what I'm talking about? But if you put a white man in a room with 100 sisters, and you come back a month later, it's going to be some Obamas being born. They're not going to wipe the race out. You know what I'm saying? So just that simple genetic scenario right there, it goes to show you that you can literally fuck them out of existence. You could run through them out of existence. And I'm not saying that that's our master plan, but that's what happens. That, there's a period in Europe called the Dark Ages. Now, that had 2 meanings. One of the meanings was it was a dark age because after Rome fell, the Gothic tribes, which were the savages, the barbarians coming out of Germanic tribes, coming out of Germany, what is now known as Germany, and things of that nature, the Vandals, the Visigoths, the Ostrogoths, they were participating in all kind of barbarity, cannibalism, bestiality, pedophilia, you name it. But also, there was also the Dark Ages because Africans were coming from Africa the same way that they're coming from Africa through the Mediterranean right now to this day. The same route through the Rock of Gibraltar. The same motherfucking route that they're taking from Libya, jumping into Italy and whatnot. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing all the way from 7-Eleven, even back in Hannibal's days. In the Dark Ages, the second meaning of the Dark Ages were that they were darkening Europe. Translation, ho, niggas was getting it in. How about it? Yeah. Africans, right? From Africa, right? The same way the Africans is in Europe getting it in right now. Who been in Europe lately? You seen them? They on a Moorish Renaissance, nigga. They all in Faye Dunaway's cave. They hiding all up the cave gang. Call them niggas cave gang. Because they came to Europe to hide in the caves of Faye Dunaway. They runaway slaves hiding in Faye Dunaway's cave. That's a bar and it's trademark, so don't take it. Showing up on the Scorpion King album. But they were darkening Europe. They were having a lot of seeds. Didn't the Moors sell us out? Nigga, did you sell yourself out? Fuck you mean sell them out? The Moors fought a war and lost it. Fuck you mean that they sell you out? How could somebody be fighting a war and sell your ass out? And who the fuck are you to be sold out? I hate when people say that dumb shit. Did the Moors sell us out? No, nigga. Some Africans in Africa sold your ass for a fucking, for a mirror. You know what I'm saying? For a fucking mirror. For a bag of salt. That's who fucking sold you out. The Moors were trying to hold your ass up. They was trying to keep the motherfucking, they was trying to keep niggas on the throne. They was trying to keep some black aristocracy running through Europe. And the concept that modern day Negroes apply to white folk did not exist to that context thousands upon thousands of years ago where, oh, I can't be around white people because, you know, they make my allergies go off. No, nigga. Niggas didn't have that kind of hang-ups, and they weren't even called white people back then. Fucking retards. Do your research. They wasn't even called white folk. Our people were travelers. We were fucking everything. Okay? If you want to keep it a buck. If you want to keep it a buck on how Africans were getting down, nigga, we was piping everything down. We were going everywhere piping it down. And we had royal seeds because we came from royal thrones. And we had the gold, and we had the resources, and we had the paper, and the camels, and the motherfucking horses to prove it. Remember, you had to do dowry. So niggas came with a whole bunch of dowry. We could let our nuts hang because, nigga, we had sheep to set. We could do it. We could do that. We could do that. And anywhere that we planted our seeds, that's where our empire would flourish. Okay, translation, you spread your empire with your dick. Okay? I don't mean to be gross, but a lot of you motherfuckers need to go to history class and figure this shit out because you're putting this fucking victim consciousness that you think that you was in chains and whatnot, a fucking chattel slave, and then you apply it to history when that was not the case. You just got ran down on recently, nigga. They just put you in chains recently. It's not the case. You was not running around as a fucking slave even 300 years ago. You were putting other people in chains. How about that? You was putting other... Nigga, you had slaves. You had concubines. You had all kind of white people in chains. You don't want to talk about that? You don't know that part, nigga? You don't know that the pendulum swung on your ass? The pendulum, the justice has to come back. You had slaves. You were selling people. They selling niggas in Africa right now. It was an art of war. It's like if you're not qualified in history, don't have these conversations because you're gonna look fucking retarded. If you're not qualified in history, if you did not do your research as to the lifestyles, as to what society was about, as to how these fake ass utopian black folk, I don't know no utopian black folk. There's no such thing as a utopian black fucking people. Okay? We were cutting heads off. Okay? We was running down on people, bodying them, breaking up their families, putting people in chains. We were selling motherfuckers. We were robbing people. And we were majestic as well. We had good parts about us, but we didn't live in a world where you apply these fucking Christian ass Sunday school morals. We didn't live in that world. The world that we lived in the 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and all of these times, we didn't follow the same rules that slaves follow today, that vassals of states, that subservient bootlicking Negroes follow today. You niggas be applying these post Alex Haley fucking qualities to who we were when we were letting our nuts hang. And that's erroneous. That is not how we were moving. If we wanted your daughter, we would kill you and take your daughter. If we wanted something for you, we would either kill you or we would set up a duel and we would fight to the death and we would take that shit. That's how a lot of niggas got down. Okay? That's history. And we ruled with an iron fist, sometimes in a velvet glove, but sometimes it wasn't in a velvet glove. Sometimes we were cutting heads off wholesale, and there were rivers of blood flowing when we came through. That's how we was moving. That's why they was in fear of us. You don't know that part about your illustrious history, my nigga? I want your daughter, I'm taking her. That little white girl right there with the long hair, with the red hair, she's mine. Here's some fucking sheep, nigga. You know what I mean? And we take her on a road and she'll have a hot girl summer. That's how they was getting down. I'm tired of this fake ass kumbaya. Niggas was on some Simba shit just looking for Mufasa. No, nigga. No. We was Africans doing what the fuck Africans do. We was sacrificing niggas like they sacrifice chickens in Africa right now. We was doing all kind of magic, sex magic. You understand? And we were merchants. And what is a merchant? A merchant is a nigga who will sell anything for a coin. Then we turned into pirates, or what they call corsairs. And then we was the Pirates of the Caribbean. And we was really ransacking shit at that point. This is going through the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. And it culminated in what is called the Barbary Wars. And we got defeated by the USA in what was it? The Barbary Wars 1, 2, and 3. 1815, I believe. So what are you talking about? Like, miss me with the kumbaya shit. I'm able to accept my fate. I'm able to accept the fact that I'm a prisoner of war. I'm able to accept the fact that niggas fell real fucking far from their thrones. I'm able to accept that. 1801 to 1815 was the Barbary Wars. The same time that America was getting their ass kicked in the Seminole Wars. Everything didn't go all fake ass utopia the way that these teachers be trying to teach niggas. Just keep it a buck, yo. Keep it a buck. Niggas was out here letting their nuts hang the same way that niggas is letting their nuts hang in a coke game, in a drug game, in a street gang, in a gang. It wasn't no rules like that. Motherfuckers wasn't bought. It wasn't no constitution. It wasn't no NATO. It wasn't no fucking United Nations. It wasn't none of that. It was get down and lay down. In some situations, I'm saying. I'm not painting everything, because you can't paint a brush. You can't paint everybody with a brush. Some of you niggas was in Africa with bones in your nose, You know what I mean? Chasing fucking hyenas and whatnot, or walking hyenas to the bathroom. Some of us was doing that. You know what I mean? Having mating rituals and whatnot. Dressing up, putting blood on our face. You know what I'm saying? Humping on a tree, trying to get some box. We was doing shit like that as well. And then, like I said, you had the Dark Ages, and then you had the Age of Enlightenment. So the Age of Enlightenment with the European is twofold. The European was lightening their royal families and their lineages up. That's the Enlightenment, when they were lightening themselves up, meaning that they were getting all of that melanin out of their bloodlines. They were fornicating with each other, and they were fornicating the black blood out of their bloodlines. You could go and look at their coat of arms and most of their royal families, and you will see at the top of their royal family coat of arms was some niggas. Okay? But during the Age of Enlightenment, and they were enlightening themselves, they were becoming enlightened by the information. Why? Because they just won a war. They just defeated a very wise and intelligent and a very conscious group of people. Because remember, in society, you have warrior class, you have the aristocracy class, you have the clergy. This is kingdom talk. All you Game of Thrones and people that understand Game of Thrones, Kingdom of Heaven, all of these movies that show you the medieval times. I'm speaking to you about the makeup of the societies that were melanated and cosmopolitan, meaning that they were melting pots. Because in Italy or Rome was not all white people. Rome was a melting pot. Okay, Cordova was a melting pot. Toledo was a melting pot. Okay? And I got to get on that too, because President Trump said the Toledo massacre today. He invoked the Toledo massacre. Now, the Toledo massacre, people is online like, oh, he's such a retard because there was El Paso, and what is he talking about with Toledo and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that this fucking president is, you know, he's not dumb. He's not dumb. Right underneath people's nose, he's speaking about the Toledo massacre, Toledo, Spain. There was a war in Toledo, Spain, and there was a massacre. What you see going on with the Walmart shooting and the shit that happened in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, that right there, my friends. Okay, all right, let me read you about Toledo, Spain, so you know about the dog whistles that these crackers are blowing, all right? So it's not just, and I'm going to show you as well. No, I'm not going to show you the screen. I'm going to just read it. You could go and Google it so you know what the hell is going on. First of all, go to Twitter, or if you know how to research what's trending and whatnot, go and see the Toledo massacre is trending under Trump. You could just Google Toledo massacre Trump. So today, during his address, where he was talking about white supremacy, right? In a way where it's like a commercial for white supremacy, because that's all this shit is like a commercial. They're not really condemning anything. They're just low key. You know what I mean? They're really just bringing awareness to it. So people who want to score more points for the team will feel encouraged to do such. So Toledo is a city and a municipality located in central Spain. It is the capital province of Toledo in the autonomous community of Castile, La Mancha. Now, if you know anything about the war against the Moors, it was Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. Queen Isabella was the king of Castile. Castile is Spain now. Toledo was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Toledo is known as the Imperial City for having been the main venue of the court of Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor, as the city of the three cultures for the cultural influences of Christians, Muslims, and Jews reflected in its history. Okay? It was also the capital from 1542 to 725 of the ancient Visigoth kingdom, which followed the fall of the Roman Empire. I just talked about that. And the location of historic events such as the Visigoth councils of Toledo. Toledo has a long history in the production of bladed weapons, which are now common souvenirs in the city. Okay. So there was wars that there were it was a massacre in Toledo that took place between the Moors and the Jews and the Christians. Go and read up on it. Go and do your research because, you know, it's out there. It's out there, right? And when Trump, you know, Hitler Part 3, when he starts invoking things, that's what he's doing. Okay? That's what he's doing. He's speaking directly to his shooters. He's speaking directly to his White Walkers. He's speaking directly to his army of dead people. You know, zombies. You know, when you go and do the research and they speak about the mortality rate of white males in America, those are considered to be the White Walkers of today. Those are your Walking Dead. You know how they have that thing, the Walking Dead? Did you ever go into communities that are suffering the opium epidemic? Did you ever go into communities where the Europeans are running around having deaths of despair? Are you seeing this? Are you noticing what's going on in these 50 states? Have you been to a Trump rally and looked at the condition and the health of these goddamn White Walkers? They look like they are zombies. They look like these crackers look like they already died or something. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing to live for but to continue the crusades. They're grenades at this point. They're kamikaze at this point. They're grenades. They are grenades. They are kamikaze. They don't have, the only thing that they have to live for is to get their name in the fucking bleachers, okay, of Trump University. They want to be mentioned amongst the greats like Dylan Roof, okay? Like the Waffle House shooter, like the Walmart shooter. Oh man, these niggas is like Chief Keef in their hood right now. Gang, gang. Like, these niggas is, they like Little Dirk in their hood. They're going to get a GoFundMe. They're going to have law enforcement protection. Whatever jail that they go to, and you niggas haven't been to jail, so you don't know about the white gangs in jail, how they run like a mafia. You're not going to touch them. You're not going to touch them. You're not, if they go to jail, nigga, you're not going to touch them. They're going to be protected. You know what I'm saying? All of these Bloods and Crips and all of these prison gangs, how many of these white shooters of innocent black people have come up injured? I think Dylan Roof got snuffed or whatever. How many of them have come up injured? How many of them got banged up? Shawshank Redemption. Like, black people get banged up in the yard and whatnot every day. Get poked up and whatnot. How many of them got poked up? Because you know it'd be front page news. None. None. Ne'er one. Why? Because they're protected. Them niggas is rolling like Tukey in the jail. They got white gangs. And the Mexicans will protect them on some occasions. You know? Now, this situation right here with the El Paso thing, they caught that nigga. They didn't body him. He's not going to make it through jail. I don't know if he's going to make it through jail. He fucked with the Mexicans. He caught a lot of Mexican bodies in that Walmart. Let's be clear. And the Mexican mafia, they'll touch you inside of their jails. They could get to you. I don't know about the Negroes, how far they octopus arms reach. But the Mexican mafia is a little more organized. And what we see in situations where you can't fight an organized crime syndicate if you're unorganized, right? Like, you're not gonna penetrate an organization disorganized if niggas don't have no organization. So a lot of these situations is a fact that this just niggas is out organized. That's really what it boils down to. That these gangs or these organizations, because whoever's out here catching these bodies, it's a fucking gang. It's a sleeper cell. You just don't know the name of them. I bet you the people on the forums and 8chan and 4chan and in the deep web, oh, they know the name of the gang. They just not saying it. They're just not broadcasting it. But they're part of a collective. You know how little niggas be playing Fortnite with other people all around the world? And they're like, you know, Call of Duty, you got a kill squad on Call of Duty. Niggas sit in the house all day when they should be in the streets protecting these women. Having these fantasy fucking shootouts while these crackers is going in Walmart and turning that bitch into Grand Theft Auto. Right? You know how they have these kill teams on PlayStation and Xbox? Well, they got kill teams in real life, little nigga. You little video game ass niggas, you. You know what I'm saying? You little fantasy hologram ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? You niggas is real tough on Final Fantasy, but you ain't out here to give out no smoke to these white supremacists. You letting Ninja and these niggas catch stains on you, man. That's pathetic. That's how you know that the pedigree and the stock. And I'm even speaking for myself. It ain't like I'm sitting here, shit. You know, I take showers in the tap water, so something got to give. But what I'm saying is, they have sleeper cells, and these sleeper cells have now gone online, and they know that if they catch bodies in the name of, it's a modern day crusades. It's you read. Let's read the manifesto. Let me shut up. Let's go ahead and read the manifesto, because once again, they're going to scare you away from the truth. They're going to scare you away from certain information because it's going to do what? It's going to empower you with what? With knowledge. They don't want you to have knowledge, because if you have knowledge, Fox News will not be able to spin the story. If you have knowledge, they cannot get to, if you have knowledge about something, they can't stroke your emotions. Now, I know you might be like, oh, you say emotions, but look at you sitting there and you're all emotional, red pill. No, weird nigga, I'm passionate. It's the different. Then, you know, separate the two. You know what I'm saying? I'm not emotional about none of this shit. I'm really not. You know, I'm passionate. I'm ahead of my time, little nigga, you. Because to be honest with you, I've been dealing with this for about 5 years. And it's like when I was doing the In Too Deep lecture over the past weeks, you know, that shit had ramifications on me, bro. You understand? You can't go that deep into that world of Jeff Epstein and fucking the Clintons and the shit not affect you. I was getting all kind of tenseness all in my body, bro. I had to get it massaged out. That shit was affecting me. It was bothering me. But I'm a fucking G and I'm passionate about my work. So it didn't bother me like that. But it had me in a small state of depression because this is some dark ass energy that I'm diving into. Pause. This is a dark tunnel that I'm going down. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Let's read the manifesto of the El Paso shooter, right? And if you're scared, nigga, go to sleep. You know what I mean? You could log off right now. Oh, the manifesto. You start thinking Destro or No, it's just a fucking. It's like somebody leaving a face. It's like a tweet, my nigga. It's a tweet, but it's gonna give you. This nigga had a lot of. He was very long winded because this shit is long, and I'm gonna have to read through it. But it's gonna give you. I read last week. Might is right. This is all Might is right, mind you. All of this is Might is right. All of this is In Too Deep. It's all explained on the In Too Deep lecture. The shit is prophetic. Let's just call it for what it is. Okay. All right. So he says about me. He wants to, this is very like, he's, it's like a love letter to fucking white supremacists. But anyway, he said, in general, I support the Christ Church shooter and his manifesto. Now, the Christ Church shooter was the white boy, or he's a European. I think he was Norwegian. And he live streamed him going into a mosque, and he killed about 50 Muslims, right? Remember that? I think it's New Zealand. So he put his manifesto went online. So now what's going on, the manifestos are creating destros, meaning the manifestos are the radicalization tools that are being spread on 4chan, 8chan, and other networks, and it's a propaganda tool. It's being purposelessly spread through Twitter and other places because it's radicalizing unsuspecting peckerwoods and weak niggas, because we're gonna see somebody with melanin carrying out one of these attacks very soon, because I mean, it's just it's about that time. It's about that time. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas is weak like that. Niggas is weak like that. And I see black men getting radicalized by the whole, when Candace Owens hopped on the bandwagon wearing the red hat and all of that MAGA shit, she's a little attractive bed wench. So all of these moist ass niggas went running behind her. But truth be told, these homoerotic niggas ran behind Kanye, because Kanye, he pulls the doggy wagon of moist niggas, because remember, he was the moist cheerleader back in the days. Remember when he did the MTV interview and he was talking about he was pro-gay? Remember that? And he was like, they used to call me gay in school, and I don't have any problem with the LBG. It was from that point on that these niggas was having the best week ever in media, right? It started right there with Kanye, and then it trickled into his 44 resonator, Obama. Obama set it up and gave these niggas the motherfucking throne. You know what I'm talking about? But Kanye was the one who set it off for opening the door for, So when he got on the MAGA shit, you start seeing all of these black weird niggas talking about they Republicans and, all of that weird. But I know what that is. I know what that is, because they was wearing Yeezys. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not stupid. I know what it is. I know that he's a moist cheerleader, and following Trump is a real moist choice, right? It's the shit. Niggas with moist tendencies gravitate towards weird shit like that all day, every day. You know what I mean? That's just a moist move. They do shit like that. Weird niggas always want to be different. You know what I'm saying? So them getting down with Trump, that's just some moist shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's be clear. I'm just being clear about it. It's a moist nigga watching right now that's like, yep, that's right, child. But anyway, let me read this manifesto. All right? And I hope not to radicalize any of you niggas on this call right now or on this live stream. That's not my intention. I want us all to be loving human beings, peaceful. You know what I'm talking about? Tree huggers, you know, loving human being. I don't advocate any kind of smoke whatsoever, you know, if it's not warranted. If it's not warranted, you know. And I'm only saying that about the people wearing the red hats because I actually gave my hard-earned attention to listening to their rhetoric and their videos. And it is completely full of, you know, the red pill movement, MGTOW, men going their own way, which is another homoerotic, woman hating, like, I would hate to be at an MGTO ski trip or slumber party because, nigga, it's going down as soon as the lights go out. Them niggas is gay, all right? Stop playing. Fuck is you talking about? Them niggas is moist. And a lot of those dudes, the black dudes that are running on that Trump shit, they're down with that. And when I was listening to their rhetoric about why they feel like they could be a Republican in 2019, it was some soft ass shit. You know what I'm saying? It was some real wormy ass, no backbone ass, moist ass fucking reasons. Like, it just didn't do it for me. So I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. The whole, I'm just gonna paint them all with that brush. So I'm being sidetracked by myself. Let me get serious and read the manifesto. I don't know the shooter's name. All right. He is in custody. I know that. And it starts out with the inconvenient truth. That's what he called it. The inconvenient truth. Right? That's the name of the documentary of global warming that Leonardo DiCaprio is a narrator, and Al Gore, I believe, produced it. Am I correct? And I saw that movie with Leonardo and the Tarantino movie where him and Brad Pitt, me and Blue saw it. We'll talk about that another day. Okay? That was all Might is Right. That whole movie was Might is Right. That whole movie was Might is Right. And then right after that, I saw the article on John Wayne. I mean, is that the cowboy nigga, John Wayne? And he had a Playboy interview in 1971 where he was full racist. That whole movie, L.A., what is that? What was the name of that movie that Tarantino just put out? Connor Betts. Is Connor Betts the Ohio shooter that got killed? Or is Connor Betts Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think it was, or something, the movie that I'm talking about with Tarantino? But that was all Might is Right. Like I said, I could watch the movies now, and I know, you know what I mean? The dog whistles that they're blowing. And I know that the foundation of these movies are written from what perspective? Is it the Asaurian tale, the Asaurian myth, the Heru journey? Is it the Might is Right story? You know, it's a bunch. Is it a take on the Moorish saga? It's all kind of shit at play. And you gotta get into Hollywood, or whoever. It's niggas in Hollywood right now, right? There's niggas out there in Hollywood cleaning toilets right now, aren't they? So they need to come back with the information about some deeper shit. Like where's the information coming out from LA? Where's the teachers at? Because we need deep information about this Hollywood shit from some insiders, not from fucking Vlad TV, weird niggas. Not from Vlad TV. We need some people that are inside, because, I mean, you know, Vlad got the nigga who killed Tupac on there confessing to it, and niggas ain't doing nothing about it. I said that before. Vlad got the nigga, you want to talk manifestos? Vlad has Keefe D up there talking about how he killed Tupac Shakur and he's selling a book. You want to talk about the inconvenient truth? And nobody is calling for his head. And he implicated Puff Daddy in the murder. You know, as being the one who put the hit, who basically paid the money after the hit went down. And niggas said that they love Tupac. That's why you could miss me with all of that. Y'all didn't ride for Malcolm's killer. The nigga who killed Malcolm X was a guard in jail. And he's home. He be in Newark, New Jersey, walking around, letting his nuts hang. The nigga who killed Tupac is walking around, letting his nuts hang with no worries in the world. Unfucking bothered. So what is this black people? What the fuck is that about? Like, what's black love? Because these are the two most loved black people in our nation, and nobody avenged them. So black people could miss me with "I'ma ride for you," and Biggie asked Bed-Stuy to hold it down if he died. Did they? No, no, no. Niggas need to start reading some fucking manifestos, and they need to turn into Destro because they don't put in no work. Zimmerman is still running around getting white chicks off of Backspace or Backpage, whatever, going on Tinder dates with black fucking bed wenches. You know what I'm saying? And all of these goblins and goons are fucking on a chain gang, and they serve no purpose whatsoever. Is Eric Holder still alive? You niggas don't serve much purpose. You really don't. You really fucking don't. You just in our neighborhoods, terrorizing our people, fucking up the property value in our hood. You know what I'm saying? Just creating all kind of fucking havoc. But you niggas don't clean up nothing. You ain't the cleanup crew. You ain't drop squad in a goddamn thing. You out here taking black messiahs away from us like you did Nipsey, like you did Tupac, like you did Biggie. All of that was gangs. 2 fucking gangs. Okay? 2 fucking gangs are responsible for taking out some of our fucking black messiahs. Biggie, Tupac, and Nipsey. They both got taken down by the red and the blue. Come on, man. And nobody want to have these conversations. Except Choke No Joke. Let me talk, man. The inconvenient truth. In general, I support the Christchurch shooter in his manifesto. This attack is a response to the Hispanic invasion of Texas. They are the instigators, not me. Now, I just read in In Too Deep. I'm going to go back and read to you about the Manifest Destiny, how America went to war with Mexico and took Texas. All right? And Texas, Colorado, California, all of that shit was was Mexico. All right? And they went in there and they killed motherfucking Montezuma, Hernando Cortez and the conquistadors. They went and killed the Moorish king. Nigga, it was a city of gold. And this Peckerwood, this motherfucker said that they instigators. He said, they are the instigators, not me. I am simply defending my country from cultural and ethnic replacement brought on by an invasion. Some people will think this statement is hypocritical because of the nearly complete ethnic and cultural destruction brought to the Native Americans by our European ancestors, but this just reinforces my point. The natives didn't take the invasions of Europeans seriously, and now what's left is just a shadow of what was. My motives for this attack are not at all personal. Actually, the Hispanic community was not my target before I read The Great Replacement. That's another one of their books that are like The Might is Right. It's called The Great Replacement. Go and read that and do your research. If you don't study your enemies and you let them study you, you're the fucking fool. You the fool. You know what I mean? This manifesto will cover the political and economic reasons behind the attack, my gear, my expectations of what response this will generate, and my personal motivations and thoughts. this motherfucker here. So listen to the might is right rhetoric. Listen to it, because it's all throughout this whole shit. It's that Nordic, Viking, Crusader, you know what I mean? Might is right type of rhetoric. In short, all right, here's the political reason. He states to his political reasons, he has political reasons. In short, America is rotting from the inside out, and peaceful means to stop this seem to be nearly impossible. The inconvenient truth is that our leaders, both Democrat and Republican, have been failing us for decades. They are either complacent or involved in one of the biggest betrayals of the American public in our history, the takeover of the United States government by unchecked corporations. I could write a 10-page essay on all the damage these corporations have caused. But here is what is important. Due to the death of the baby boomers, the increasingly anti-immigrant rhetoric of the right, and the ever-increasing Hispanic population, America will soon become a one-party state. The Democrat Party will own America, and they know it. They have already begun the transition by pandering heavily to the Hispanic or his panic voting bloc in the first Democratic debate. They intend to use open borders, free health care for illegals, citizenship, and more to enact a political coup by importing and then legalizing millions of new voters. With policies like these, the Hispanic support for Democrats will likely become nearly unanimous in the future. The heavy Hispanic population in Texas will make us a Democratic stronghold. Losing Texas and a few other states with heavy Hispanic population to the Democrats is all it would take for them to win nearly every presidential election. Although the Republican Party is also terrible, many factions within the Republican Party are pro-corporation. Pro-corporation equals pro-immigration, but some factors within the Republican Party don't prioritize corporations over our future. So the Democrats are nearly unanimous with their support of immigration, while the Republicans are divided over it. At least with the Republicans, the process of mass immigration and citizenship can be greatly reduced. Now, already, right? This cocksucker is planting seeds. Already, because impressionable mind. This is all Fox News rhetoric. This is all Breitbart News rhetoric. This is all Donald Trump rhetoric. This is the shit that his fucking bird-ass son be running around repeating on Twitter. So if you can see the dangers of manifestos, is that manifestos are backed with blood, bodies, fire, meaning gunfire, and lead, nigga. So manifestos come to life. You understand? If a nigga catch 50 bodies and then he writes some shit and you read it, nigga, that's gonna download. I'm not talking about us per se. I'm speaking about the ops, the impressionable, white inferiority complex, white fragilicists who need bloodshed. They need fire. They need bodies. They need blood to be shed in these Jason months. They need smoke in order to feel safe. Yeah, make sure y'all hit it with the thumbs up and all of that, and hit that Cash App. Shout out to everybody that has sent the Cash Apps for this lecture tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. Salute. All right. Shout out to Empress B 444, my moderator, keeping everything in control. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all catch her podcast. Empress B 444 has a bomb ass podcast with her and her team out of VA, and she's giving the goddamn truth. She's not just the moderator, she's also out here in new media laying shit down. okay? Laying it down, doing the work. So she's a superwoman because she manages to do her work, and she's also doing this work. And this is not easy, okay? This is not easy. All right, so now he got economic reasons. So he's injecting himself. It's called the Global Takeover Podcast. Global Takeover Podcast. Go and find that on Anchor, family, so you could understand. So you could listen to our Empress B444, and become familiar with her mindset, because she's really she has a head on her shoulders, and her team does as well. Economic reasons. In short, immigration can only be detrimental to the future of America. Well, how does this line up with the conversation that our ADOS brothers are? And I'm not inferring anything. I'm just saying, is this stance that they're having about immigrations in alignment with the stance that our brothers and sisters in the ADOS movement have about immigration? I just want to know. All right. In short, immigration could only be detrimental to the future of America. Continued immigration will make one of the biggest issues of our time, automation, so much worse. Some sources say that in under 2 decades, half of American jobs will be lost to it. Of course, some people will be retrained, but most will not. So it makes no sense to keep on letting millions of illegal or legal immigrants flood into the United States, and to keep the tens of millions that are already here. Invaders who have already close to the highest birth rate of all ethnicities in America. In the near future, America will have to initiate a basic universal income to prevent widespread poverty and civil unrest as people lose their jobs. Joblessness in itself is a source of civil unrest. The less dependence on a government welfare system, the better. The lower the unemployment rate, the better. Achieving ambitious social projects like universal health care and UBI will become far more likely to succeed if tens of millions of dependents are removed. Now, I'm only asking about the rhetoric that the ADOS, not the rhetoric, but the stance that I'm reading this, and I'm saying to compare notes, only because this manifesto and this he's basically laying out Fox 5 news type of reasoning and things of that nature. But the danger in the manifesto is that this conversation can now be considered radicalized. The same shit that he's saying, he's just basically laying out certain things that certain people feel in this nation. But now, because he has murders and bodies behind it, that conversation or that narrative can now be considered radicalization. And you know that they're looking to radicalize the melanin. They need all of this heat to get up off of them. So they're definitely trying to find the black identity extremists that they could begin to point fingers at and be like, well, what about them? And let's look at them, and let's apply all of these new funds, because they're gonna open up a new budget to fight homeland terrorism, but it's inconspicuously gonna go away from the white boys and turn directly on some niggas. Please be understandably clear about that. That is the motherfucking Hegelian dialect, and that's how they're gonna swing their pendulum. That they're gonna give you, they're gonna give you some band-aids, because it's a lot of outrage right now, and they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna open up a new division, or we're gonna secure some funding and things like that. But soon enough, that shit is gonna immediately turn onto the radicalized niggas in America who's asking for reparations and who's on YouTube and social media spreading hate. You know what I mean? And they got something against moist niggas and shit like that. Even though new migrants do the dirty work, their kids typically don't. They want to live the American dream, which is why they get college degrees and fill higher paying skilled positions. This is why corporations lobby for even more illegal immigration, even after decades of it happening. They need to keep replenishing the low-skilled labor pool. Nigga, I heard this conversation before. That's called the buffer nations, right? That's what they were saying when they were sending all of the Caribbeans in, when they were sending all of the Africans in, that they have people who are immigrants who look like us, but they not on code with us. They came and cut our fucking jobs in the 70s. I'm still kind of upset about that too. You know, I wasn't working back then, but I saw what happened, and it was some low level, nigga, you could get bodied for that. You know what I'm saying? You could get touched for that. If you come on a block and niggas got 20, they got they got fat dubs for sale. And then you come, you got fat 15 bags. Nigga might take your head off for that. So when they had these jobs in the 70s and the Jamaicans came over and they basically cut all of the ADOS, they cut their fucking legs from under them because they started accepting jobs they were paying peanuts. Peanuts. And we was on our way to trying to make fucking 40 and 50 and 60 an hour, nigga. You understand? We just buried Martin Luther King. We just buried Malcolm X. We just buried a whole bunch of our leaders that were clipped by the COINTELPRO. There was a lot of bloodshed in the 60s. So at least a nigga could get 60 and 70 an hour from doing menial work. A little bit of plumbing here, a little bit of carpentry here. You feel me? That's the shit Jimmy Hoffa went missing for. And then they bring the fucking Jamaicans with the Haymon attitude, and they done took the fucking jobs, and they doing it for 20 an hour, 30, 40 an hour. You know what I mean? And then after that, the Africans came in selling. Niggas was, the ADO West was out here selling socks. And who comes selling socks? Who want to come sell oils now? Nigga, we had the incense market on lock. What are you doing? They come and took the incense over. The niggas came and took the fucking sock market. You know what I mean? They took the tank top market. You know? They want to drive the cabs now? They took the fucking bootleg watch market over? They took the fucking glasses? Like, you didn't leave nothing for us. So, that rhetoric that I just read is being repeated on this side. We're just comparing notes right now, right? Because it's not that they replaced us. It's like when they bring, when like they have an NFL strike and then they bring the scabs in. And I'm not disrespecting nobody from the Caribbean at all. Don't get it fucked up. I'm speaking about the United States of America. Those are not your fucking friends, all right? The white man, the same motherfucker who was putting his foot up your ass, the same cocksucker who killed Bob Marley. How about it? I don't know, you know what I'm talking about? The same motherfucker who brought the shower posse over here as CIA operatives and spread cocaine on the New York border while Ricky Ross was doing it on LA. Nigga, that cracker, he was always in the mix. He set you niggas up. He brought y'all over here and had y'all cutting the fucking the ADOS from what we were out here doing. So once again, his wicked hand is at play, but that created a big ass divide. I lived in Flatbush. You understand? I lived in a neighborhood where the Americans, the foundational black Americans, would call Jamaicans banana boats and coconuts. And they did not like them like that. Okay? They didn't like them like that. There was a lot of smoke going on. And to be honest with you, the Jamaican, the shower posse, and a lot of the gunman them, they came over and was killing off the big homies. They brought a lot of that gunplay to New York. Niggas was fighting and stabbing for the most part. They wasn't shooting Uzis, and motherfucker ain't had no Uzis. That was the shower posse. And then Bob Marley died of skin cancer, but the fucking CIA gave it to them. Go and do your research, please. Nigga, the nigga who killed them confessed to it. It was a CIA operation. All right? And then when he got shot, the CIA was behind that because the CIA had the shower posse, Jim Brown, Vivian Coke. Go and do your fucking research. Go and dig it up. That the shower posse was an arm of Ciega, who was the political party, JPL and Ciega, and that was all CIA operatives. So when you had Jamaicans coming over here on some screwface shit where they'll body a nigga, get deported, and they back next week on the same name. They didn't even change their name up. They back right back at your ass. They was right on the block again. That was all federal. That was all government, bro. That was all government. The Shower Posse were CIA operatives. That is a fucking fact. They were working for the police. And they brought a destructive, fucking murderous culture into New York City. And New York, remember when I was talking about the body count in 1990? Nigga, that was the Shower Posse. That was Jamaicans turning up on Americans, on foundational black Americans, whatever area that they went into. They bodied a whole bunch of niggas and took over. They started fucking the young girls, busting them wide, you know, giving them babies, visa babies, right? Buying them 5411s and bubble gum and shit like that. Nigga, from 12 and up. How about it? Huh? You know what I'm talking about? From 12 and up. Giving them babies, and they setting up the weed gate. Then they set up the crack gate. It wasn't that much coke. It was crack and weed. And you know, foundational black Americans, shouldn't we gonna get down? We gonna get down or lay down. So here it is. Foundational black Americans, the way they get money is they rob white people. That's how they was getting money. They were robbing. They were digging pockets. They were robbing the whole fucking train. You know what I mean? They used to go on juxes, like how you see the Central Park 5 shit. They would go and rob white people. It's called wiling. They will wild out. Decepticons. The motherfucking lowlifes. We were boosting. We were stealing clothes from white people. We were robbing white people. We were taking everything that we wanted from fucking white people. And here these niggas come with this crack. And here these niggas come with all of this gunplay. And that's when a lot of shit changed and it turned into, remember, the first war was Americans against the Jamaicans in New York. That was the big war. It was they was robbing Dominicans for the work, and then they was robbing Jamaicans too. But the Jamaicans clapped back. Nigga, the Jamaicans clapped back, and they was hitting niggas up and catching a lot of bodies. So what did the Americans do? They picked up the guns, and then they turned Gundalero, and it hasn't turned back ever since. It hasn't turned back ever since. This is the days of the posses, not the gangs, the posses. It went from gangs, like in the 70s with the Warriors and the Black Spades and all of that, then it turned into posses. I'm talking about the posse era, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. All out war against the fucking Jamaicans, and then the Trinidadians, the Panamanians, and all of them jumped on board. But that was the initial conflict, bro. That was the initial conflict. You know what I'm saying? And when I did my research and I found out that these niggas was CIA, I cried. I cried because it just, you know, it hurt. Like, damn, bro. These niggas was working for the fucking boys, bro, the whole time. Like, and they out here killing stand-up niggas, bro. They was out here bodying stand-up brothers. Real good men. But, you know, got to be able to tell the story. Got to be able to tell the story. You know? Ross Ben, the brother Ross Ben, he, either he has the book or one of his Ross brothers has the book on the whole, you know, CIA operation in Jamaica, how they took out the dance hall, how they brought in dance hall music by taking out Bob Marley and the roots and the reggae culture. Remember, the roots music was not the same as dance hall, the slackness. When Yellow Man and when Bob got killed and then Yellow Man blew up and then they brought in what is called the slackness, that's when Jamaica goes into turmoil alongside the political unrest. But that's when Jamaica goes into complete Badman killing fields. Like, that's when the shit turns into what it turns into. You know? The CIA is bringing guns into Jamaica. But Jamaica is bringing cocaine and marijuana into America. You know? So now dance hall or roots and reggae culture goes from uplifting the people with the message that Bob and Peter Tosh and them. Edward Seaga is his name. Edward Seaga, if you want to look him up. Seaga. A piece of shit, if you ask me. A white man, right? He's a cracker. And he had all of our people killing each other up in Jamaica. Somebody asked me, do I own a gun? On YouTube. Like, really? So, and I'm all in my black identity extremist bag, and you have the nerve to ask me, do I have a gun on YouTube? We need to stop that. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop that. You know. Let me continue to read, though, because I don't want to lose track of what I'm reading. What we're doing is we're comparing. Oh, Seaga died this year? It took him that long? God damn. Huh. It took him that long, huh? Okay. So let's read some more of this young piece of shit's rhetoric about why he felt the need to go and take innocent lives because he's so fucking moist. Listen to his conversation. Is this not white fragility? Is this not white inferiority? Do you hear any remnants of superiority in this manifesto? Do you hear any remnants? Do you hear any remnants of a white superior man or white superiority? Stop calling it that shit then. Let's stop calling it that, because that is not what it is. It's not what it is. We have to be able to decipher and to have the art of discernment when we're reading certain things and when people invite us into their psyche or their mind state. As a student of human psychology, I'm able to focus on the mind state and the mental faculties of the people that are writing these letters. So you could miss me with all of that. Oh, he had a mental health issue. Oh, he was depressed. Oh, no, nigga, it's not that. Nigga, he wrote a fucking he wrote a goddamn a mini, he wrote a fucking EP. It's like a little book. You know what I'm saying? There's no speculation. He was coordinated. It's called capital murder, premeditated, right? A1 murder, right? It's A1 murder. It's premeditated. He understood every reason why he was carrying it out. This nigga wrote a paragraph about the gear that he was going to use. He wrote a whole thing about the gear. And in his manifesto, he's banging on the banks. He's banging on the corporations. But where did he go and kill? He went and killed some goddamn Mexicans that ain't hurt nobody. His name was Patrick Crusius. Crusius. He's not even a white boy. To be honest with you, he wasn't even a full Peckerwood. He wasn't fully Pecker. He was not fully Pecker. This nigga got some kind of admixture from somebody else. What up, though? I am against race mixing, all right? This is one of his other things. Personal reasons and thoughts. I skipped a lot of shit. I'm sorry, but I can't. You know what I mean? I'm trying to unpack this nigga, but you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Reaction. I'm going to read the reaction first. This is the reaction that he wants as a result of him having a mass shooting. Statistically, millions of migrants have returned to their home countries to reunite with the family they lost contact with when they moved to America. They come here as economic immigrants, not for asylum reasons. This is an encouraging sign that the Hispanic population is willing to return to their home countries if given the right incentive. An incentive that myself and many other patriotic Americans will provide. This will remove the threat of the Hispanic voting bloc, which will make up for the loss of millions of baby boomers. This will also make the elites that run corporations realize that it's not in their interest to continue to piss off Americans. Corporate America doesn't need to be destroyed, but just shown that they are on the wrong side of history. That if they don't bend, they will break. Did you hear this cocksucker's mind state? He thinks that shooting up the fucking underwear aisle in Walmart is gonna send millions of Mexicans willingly back to Mexico. When these motherfuckers is in El Paso and they read the damn Wikipedia the same way that I did, nigga. They know that El Paso is part of Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, California. Nigga, they not stupid. The fuck you talk? This is an imaginary border to them. That wall, nigga, that wall don't even exist in their minds. They're like, fam, this is Texas. Like, I'm not going anywhere because this is Texas. El Paso is Texas. Colorado, they got Arc Texas. What's the shit? Arc Texana. Nigga, what are you talking about? It's all Texas. It's all Mexico. He sounds, he might do have mental issues. The shit that I just read, like, you thought shooting up Walmart was gonna change niggas running to America? It's been 2,000 fucking mass shootings, nigga. It ain't stopped the flood of immigration. And they shooting in Mexico, cocksucker. Nigga, you didn't see Narcos, Mexico? Personal reasons and thoughts. This is where the fragility really comes out. You're going to hear a lot of white, moist fragility, all right? So prepare yourself. My whole life, I have been preparing for a future that currently doesn't exist. The job of my dreams will likely be automated. See, this is that, yo. This is fragility. Hispanics will take control of the local and state government of my beloved Texas, changing policy to better suit their needs. Curse you, Selena. They will turn Texas into an instrument of a political coup, which will hasten the destruction of our country. The environment is getting worse by the year. If you take nothing else from this document, remember this. Inaction is a choice. I could no longer bear the shame of inaction, knowing that our founding fathers have endowed me with the rights needed to save our country from the brink of destruction. Our European comrades don't have the gun rights needed to repel the millions of invaders that plague their country. They have no choice but to sit by and watch their countries burn. Nigga, that's the moistest shit that I've ever fucking read. Really? You bird at? This is not even your country, bro. America can only be destroyed from the inside out. If our country fails, it will be the fault of traitors. This is why I see my actions as faultless, because this isn't an act of imperialism, but an act of preservation. America is full of hypocrites who will blast my actions as the sole result of hatred and racism of other countries, despite the extensive evidence of all the problems these invaders cause and will cause. People who are hypocrites because they support imperialistic wars that have caused the loss of tens of thousands of American lives and untold numbers of civilian lives. The argument that mass murder is okay when it's state sanctioned is absurd. Our government has killed a whole lot more people for a whole lot less. So he's just on his Rambo shit. He's like, yo, if America could go around the world killing wholesale, then I'm going to do it in Walmart. Mind you, they have this cracker in custody, right? And they're going to give him the death penalty. What is the death penalty going to do? It's going to make him a martyr. This nigga manifesto is dripping in moistness. I know that white people are fucking loving this shit right now. Do you understand me? This is a fucking Trump rally speech. Nigga, did you hear the rhetoric? It's all the shit that Trump and his bird-ass sons be talking about. Trump Jr. You know what I mean? Like, This is all Fox 5 rhetoric. Even if this is more of it. Okay, I'm going to be finished with him in a minute. Even if other non-immigrant targets would have a greater impact, I can't bring myself to kill my fellow Americans. Oh, so you're just going to kill some soft target Mexicans? Some undocumented Mexicans? Even the Americans that seem hell-bent on destroying our country. Even if they are shameless race mixers, massive polluters, haters of our collective values, etc. One day they will see the error of their ways. Either when American patriots fail to reform our country and it collapses, or when we save it, but they will see the error in their ways. I promise y'all that. I am against race mixing because it destroys genetic diversity and creates identity problems. Listen to Frances Cress Welsing teaching you niggas. Listen to this part. This is what Frances tried to teach you. Dr. Frances, mind you. Peace be upon her. Also, because it's completely unnecessary and selfish. Second and third generation Hispanics form interracial unions at much higher rates than average. Yet another reason to send them back. Remember, Trump just told the squad, the 4 women, right? And how many of them were Hispanic? They were at the Trump rally and they were saying, send them back, send them back, send them back. And a whole bunch of moist white people were like, oh my goodness, this is uncomfortable. It's reminding us of Hitler. This is a moment in history. This is a watershed moment at his rally. It's so much rhetoric. Shut the fuck up. Like, I hate the press, yo, because they're all in on it. If you don't see that by now, I don't know what to tell you. But they're all in on it, bruh. It's disgusting to watch them at this point, the talking heads. It's completely disgusting. You know what I mean? It's completely disgusting. And it's disgusting to watch you white people too. Y'all watching this? The ones that are not watching this, because there's this fake white outrage. Oh my goodness. The same outrage you niggas gave the whales when they were dying. I don't believe you. There's nothing to believe. There's nothing to believe. If you, black man and black woman, okay, the Negroes in their eyes, if you don't know what the fuck is going on around you, then I can't help you. You know what I mean? Sorry to bother you, nigga. But it's going to be another episode to Get Out. You know what I mean? And your eyeballs is on the market or something at this point. But I have nothing to say to you. There's nothing I could do to convince you to have a little more, respect for your fucking ancestors and for your future. You know what I mean? And a little more respect for your people. And a little bit more respect for just you. You know? People spent their lives bragging about how they running away to be around white people to get away from savage niggas. You know what I'm saying? You niggas ran into a fucking savage ass. How you gonna run around white people and they just was hanging niggas about 30 years ago? What the fuck are you running to? How you gonna run to white people who ran away from black people and be sending missiles over to the fucking hood? You know what I mean? Collectively. And you niggas is running to be under they nutsacks. And you think that you gonna floss, you think you gonna stunt, and you think that you gonna act, you gonna act up around us. We turn into the city girls on you niggas. You're not gonna act up around us like you made the right choice, like you somebody better than us. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. They was just hanging niggas. Like them, not even their ancestors. Y'all running around old crackers. They were really hanging niggas a while ago and looking at you like, nigga, stay in line because you could be a tree ornament real quick. You know what I'm saying? I would rather weigh it out around the knuckle draggers. I would rather weigh it out around the hyenas, nigga, around scarring these niggas before I interject and put myself into a whole nother fucking society, into a whole nother race, into a whole nother community of people who basically It's not that they hate me. It's just that I remind them of everything that they stole from me. It's not that they hate me. It's just that I remind them that their fucking time is running out. It's not that they hate me. It's just that I constantly remind them that they can't really let their nuts hang because I'm in the building. You know what I mean? I'm right here. You guys are toasting for Columbus Day, but I don't fuck with Columbus, and I'm here. You know, you guys, could you not do that? You know what I'm saying? I'll take my chances around these brain dead niggas before I wind up laying around, and surrounding myself with these crackers. I'm good. And that's no shots at anybody who that's your path. You're invested, you have a 30-year mortgage, you all up in Pleasantville. That's on you. And I'm not taking no subliminals because I know people who live in Pleasantville and they might think that I'm talking about them. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not saying that. I said me personally, just me. It has nothing to do if that's what you're doing. All of this information that I'm giving out, outside of all of the antics on some heart-to-heart shit, this is just for proper preparation so we could prevent piss-poor performances. I'm not judging nobody because I'm not in a position to judge you. I don't know your fucking story, so I would never play myself and try to point fingers. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll never place myself in that lane. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just ridiculing you silly niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because you're ridiculable. And I'm bringing an awareness that might not have existed because I'm sure that y'all don't talk about this over tuna casserole at the fucking Uno party with your white neighbors. They're not going to tell you about the doctrine of discovery. They're not going to tell you about might is right. They're not going to tell you about these manifestos. They're not going to take their fucking time to read it to you, nigga. I am. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to give you this information because I care about you, because I don't want you to be caught slipping out there bed winching and Twitter dating and whatever the fuck y'all be doing all around the ops. And we could deal with these niggas on another occasion because I can help you repel them too. But I'm just saying, I'm just giving you information because, we got to stay on code, right? That was the word. Stay on code. I'm just helping with the code. Just helping with the code, nigga. You know what I mean? Everybody got to play their part. I'm just helping with the code. I'm just helping keep you niggas on code. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about the cucumber at the fucking party with Alexis Sky. You know what I mean? We could talk about a lot of shit. We could talk about how y'all are disgracing vegetables when you should be eating the cucumber, but you're putting it in your fucking box. We could talk about that. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about these crackers right now. I'm going to talk about this white terrorism. Okay? We'll let these other niggas talk about that other shit. Because, everybody got their lane. Everybody got their lane. We'll have a whole show about cucumbers. Okay? We'll have a whole fucking show about cucumbers. All right? Okay. Let's talk about his white fragility real quick by reading this statement, because I'm reading the manifesto because the manifesto is a reflection of millions of Europeans who don't necessarily feel comfortable speaking to you about how they feel until they're ready to kill you. So this is their mind state. This is the white Twitter's mind state. This is 4chan. This is 8chan. This is their mind state. This is what they thinking of. The same dude that this is Reddit. This is the Reddit mind state. The nigga who Venus or Serena married, who's one of the co-owner of that site. This is their mind state. I am against race mixing because it destroys genetic diversity and creates identity problems. Racial diversity will disappear as either race mixing or genocide will take place. Cultural diversity diminishes, a stronger and more appealing culture overtakes weaker and undesirable ones. But the idea of deporting or murdering all non-white Americans is horrific. But then you go and murder a whole bunch of Mexicans. Many have been here at least as long as whites and have done as much to build our country. Talk about these niggas. But the solution, the best solution to this for now would be to divide America into a confederacy of territories with at least one territory for each race, right? Now, I think the documentary is called Race War, and they touched on that. All right, how they have a map. What they have, they already got the map drawn up of the different districts or whatever that they want to carve America into, where the different races will live. This physical separation would nearly eliminate race mixing and improve social unity by granting each race self-determination with their respective territory. My death is likely inevitable. If I'm not killed by the police, then I'll probably be gunned down by one of the invaders. The police basically gave that nigga a hand job when they caught him. Did you see the tape? Did you see it? It was like they was arresting a jaywalker. It was so cool and comfortable. Capture in this case is far worse than dying during the shooting, because I'll get the death penalty anyway. Worse still is that I would live knowing that my family despises me. This is why I'm not going to surrender even if I run out of ammo. If I'm captured, it will be because I was subdued somehow. Now we know that nigga's a liar. Remember, it is not coward. Listen to this. Remember, this is how they talk to each other. Now, this is the cherry on the top. This is like the last paragraph. Remember, it is not cowardly to pick low-hanging fruit, aka don't attack heavily guarded areas to fulfill your super soldier COD fantasy. Now, Tariq Nasheed talks about this. I believe he introduced this in Hidden Colors 5. I've heard him on many occasions speak about this. Black people, Walmart, you in Walmart with your fucking slippers on. You niggas is out in the public with your pajamas on, looking all fucking goofy. You know what I'm talking about? You on a train with your pajamas on. You in Walmart looking all dumb and stupid. You know what I mean? Just all retarded and off fucking point, off code. Nigga, get on code. Get on code. Get your shit pushed back at the amusement park or wherever these niggas said is soft targets. Because that's where they're gonna hit you at when you least suspect it. When you in Walmart twerking or whatever, or you just running around and you're you know what I mean, wearing slippers. The Nipsey shit should have showed you, nigga, don't be coming outside with no slippers on. That ain't it. Attack low security targets. Even though you might outgun a security guard or policeman, they likely beat you in armor, training, and numbers. Do not throw away your life on an unnecessarily dangerous target. If a target seems too hot, live to die another day. So boom, Dylan Roof goes into a church and kills elderly people. He killed a senator, right? Low-hanging fruit. Dude goes into the Waffle House and kills a whole bunch of people. Low-hanging fruit. The guy in Aurora, Colorado during the Batman movie, he gets up and starts killing people in the movie theater. Low-hanging fruit. The people go into the schools and shoot them up. Low-hanging fruit. Do you see a pattern here? He's not the first one to use that strategy. He's repeating it because this is how they conversate in their forums, and this is how they talk when they prepare themselves to do what it is that you've seen them do. Low-hanging fruit. Target, the Pulse nightclub, you know, everywhere where people are unsuspecting of some smoke. That's where they'll get you at. Okay? That's where they'll get you at. Watch out in the gym. You niggas in Planet Fitness, you better keep that side piece with you. Okay?